we stand together, we'll never fall. We can make a difference and answer the call.
Greetings, programs. Welcome back to another episode of the All Around Growth Podcast. Today is a Wild Card Wednesday, and originally we were going to do a show on the homestead. We were going to get a homestead update going. I got all that material prepped, but as I walked to the truck this morning, I realized that we're going to mix it up today because it is a Wild Card Wednesday, and we're going to talk about falling off the wagon on this episode of the All Around Growth Podcast, a show that provides insight and tools to build a life and homestead of your dreams. My name is Rob Kaiser, and I am your host. Like I said, today is, or maybe I didn't say this yet, today is Wednesday, April 13th, 2022, and this is episode number 326. And that's right, we're going to talk about falling off the wagon today. Now, I guess I decided to mix it up last minute because I actually did a small video on this yesterday about falling off the wagon. And the video was prompted in large part by a trip to Chipotle, right? I had to run to the vet yesterday and pick up some antibiotics for Toby, my dog. And I have just made a point over the past month or so to get away from the dietary changes, the dietary and supplementary changes that I have been making and incorporating into my diet. Now, why did I do this? What happened? All right. The long and short of it is that I was going through some transitions. The nature of the transitions are irrelevant, and the transition disrupted my schedule. It is as simple as that. However, at the end of the day, I know that I make choices. I know that when I choose to put the garbage into my body, that I know garbage will come right out. And it may not come out in terms of literal garbage, poo coming out of my butt, but garbage in terms of the level of thought that is created in my mind. Garbage and the quality of the sleep that I get when I consistently consume this trash. Garbage in terms of the nature of how I interact with people because I'm feeling stressed and inflamed because of what I put into my body on a consistent basis. Garbage because garbage in equals garbage out. And you may not really think that it impacts you all that much, but we only think that because that's the only normal we've ever known. People are talking right now in 2022 about the new normal and how we wish we could just go back to normal. Well, if you want to go back to what you already had, then have at it, because I'm having none. I've spent my whole life living a certain way just to experience what we experienced in 2020, only to have the large majority of people want to go back to what it used to be like. What does that tell you? It tells you, or at least it tells me, that people are satisfied with the mediocrity of their life, and they're happy with the way that it's always been. You're one of them. I am too. It's time we wake up and just look ourselves in the mirror, face to face, man to man, and realize and understand and accept the fact that we all make choices. All right? Like, we make choices. You're not happy with the current state of affairs in your life? Then fucking change it. Change your life, change your habits, change your decisions. Not necessarily in that order, because before we act, we've got to decide. Remember the old analogy of 3 frogs on a log? There's 3 frogs on a log. One decides to jump. How many frogs remain? 3. Nothing happens until a frog decides to take action. And guys, that's what happened to me. I fell off the wagon. I let my diet go to shit. I lapsed on my supplements. I've been thinking about it, I've been thinking about it, I've been thinking about it. And the longer I thought about it, the easier it became to justify having a beer. The easier it became justifying a candy bar at the gas station. The easier it became justifying a pizza from Marco's. The easier it began justifying Stromboli or a calzone from Tonio's. The easier that chocolate piece of cake was to justify. I'm not weighing myself consistently like I used to, but I imagine if I did, I'd have noticed. You know, and that's the one thing, guys, that we all have, is this consistency. And we get results with consistency. The results are oftentimes good. The results are oftentimes a little less desirable, because we all know deep down in our hearts that we make choices. And we all know that there are consequences for our choices and actions. So yeah, guys, today there's not much of a farm and homestead update. There is, if you wanted to sign up for the newsletter, and I'll link to the newsletter in the show notes, because, well, I lost my train of thought because someone passed another car in front of me. And oftentimes I get talking about the passing. Everybody's in a rush to go nowhere. You know? We're in a big rush to go nowhere. Like myself. Where am I going? Just a day job? Yeah. I get any satisfaction from it? I don't know. Some. Not near like I used to. The only constant is change. Change is what is happening here. Change is what is happening in the other 6 aspects of life. And guys, if you want to create consistent change, consistent thought patterns that will allow you to create the life and homestead of your dreams. I'll mention one other thing before we close it out here. There's the 2022 goal setting workbook, which I've talked about extensively in the past. That has given me the tools and insight to break down my life into 7 different categories: financial, physical, personal development, family, spiritual, social, and career. And that has helped me gain some clarity in how I am approaching this life. And if you find yourself disgruntled or confused or overwhelmed or whatever the case may be, I would highly encourage you to check out the show notes, download that workbook, get started, and find the peace of mind that you have not found before. All right, guys, that's it. workbook, the goal setting workbook, will be in the show notes. The link to the current April newsletter at York Meadow Farm will also be in the show notes, and much more will also be in the show notes. So that's it for today. I look forward to another episode with you tomorrow. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.
In a world of pain, what can I do? The needs are many and answers a few. People turn away and I wonder why. If I can help somebody, then I want to try. People may think that it's odd that I believe in love, and truth is always the best way to the world that may seem odd. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. If we stand together, we'll never fall. We can make a difference and answer the call. You know the times are wasting every day, and we can help somebody along the way. People may think that it's odd that I believe in friendship and love. Truth is always the best way to the world that may seem odd. I'm an odd fellow. You're an odd